All right, welcome all. This is a breakdown of the Dream Rave, just so people get a sense. I'm not yet doing these readings. I'm still going through all my coursework, but at some point doing, just general readings for people and friends, mostly for friends at a trade. And we're looking at a sample Dream Rave right here. And I'm doing Sabato again because I don't want to volunteer anyone, and I don't have the patience to ask anyone right now whether they want their dream rave plastered all over the internet. Sabato's been dead for a while. Hopefully he doesn't turn in his grave. Oh, deepest respect to him, and I will do this in the highest respect for who he was. He's the author of The Tunnel, the book I read on my channel, which a lot of you enjoyed. The Adolfo Bioy Casares book, not so much. That was a little too abstracted for people, I think, to fully enjoy. But this one was a first-person crime novel, but had some deep metaphysical layering happening with the narrative. And so it's fun to look and see his dream rave. The accuracy of the birth, there's another date given. So I don't know how accurate the date is, but this is the date where I found the details for, and I found it on astro.com. So there could be a little more here. And in addition, his dream rave is fascinating. He's got one, two, three, four, five, six active gates. But let me start for those who don't know about the dream rave at all, so you can get a good sense. So what it is it's 16 gates that remain active while we sleep, while we are horizontal. So once we assume a position of horizontal, I have trouble pronouncing things lately, of being horizontal, there's a shift that takes place in our body graph, and all the emotional gates and centers turn off. And what only remains is the mammalian gates and centers. And what that means is these are the gates that are connected with our ancient kind of mammalian genetics. So there's no feelings in the dream realm. There could be a semblance of feeling and emotion when we interact with certain images and stories that come up in the dream realm. But the download of the feelings associated with those images does not happen until we wake up. And then we get the download. Then the lymphatic system gets clogged up. And that's why it's good to exercise in the morning when you wake up, or jump on a shake plate and move the body, or do the exercises. This is why we all feel the impulse to do that. And so in the dream rave, what happens when we go to sleep, in the process of going to sleep, these gates activate. And it's not to say they don't somehow activate and spill over into the waking chart. They actually do. And I'll explain this a little later. This will have to do with um the codon waking impact, which are the gates connected to the codon ring of the particular gate that's active. And you can also see here on this right-hand side the particular amino acids that activate these gates. I didn't know there was one called terminator, I guess for gate 12. Asparagine, arginine, leucine, serine, and tyrosine. And there are three realms as we sleep. And this has also been cataloged to some degree and is referenced in Toltec shamanism, as well as I think reality dream surfing gets into this too. Transurfing, not dream surfing, transurfing. And so this is fascinating. So what we're cataloging here through the human design, through Ra Uruhu's system, is three realms, and that's the light realm, the demon realm, and the earth realm. These are all very different. Um, the light realm is called the light field. And the ideal there's those ideals, right? There's those idealizations of things. But in human design, we like to say there is no such thing as a bad chart. Each chart has its purpose. In Dream Rave, there is a phrase that's shared about that it is ideal to have a gate active in each plane or realm or field. And that creates a certain balance because each field or dream or realm is a little different and has a different effect on us. And there's gates that rule the light field, there's gates that are in the earth plane, there's gates that are in the demon realm. They're all very different. And I won't go too deep into it today. I mean, you could see some of the details here. I don't know how big. I could make it bigger because I don't know that you guys can all see this super clearly. But you can see, for example, remember, this is mammalian gate, so this is survival. So the level of intensity in comparison to the waking gates and the interpretation of these gates are different. So you might have gate 42 and you might think, oh, I know how to end things. You might have gate 53 here, the format channel, as Sabato does in his Dream Rave. And you might think, oh, I know how to begin things. I'm good at beginning and ending things. You know, in the Dream Rave, not so much. It's almost the opposite in the Dream Rave. Sabato might have had trouble actually beginning things because of the spillover. Because the 53 in the Dream Rave is going to be a real difficulty at beginnings. It's going to be a challenge in actually entering into something, a deep fear of it. And the 42 is going to be a deep fear of ending things. Even things as simple as saying goodbye or how to end meetings with others or just any kind of ending could be traumatic. But endings, huge endings, definitely. Like this is someone who had a lot of trouble letting go of the past. Now, this is all stuff we work through as well, not to say. But Sabato's books are incredibly nostalgic. The whole novel of The Tunnel is a recollection of a murderer and what he did. And he remembers this character he murdered with love or with, if he's a psychopath, of course, he's not really, perhaps really capable of love, but some kind of attachment that was almost there. That was almost something that his false self perhaps was grasping for. And so it's difficult gates in the dream realm. And some of us have no activations in the dream realm. That's something that's important to note because these are all gates that are transiting at the moment that you're born. And so maybe none of these 16 particular mammalian gates were active when you were born. So that's possible too. And that's what would that be? What do they even call that type? Is that even a reflector? No gates? I don't even remember. Anyway, Sabato in particular here is a generator in the dream realm. And you could tell because it says it right there, sleeping type, generator. So his sleeping themes are satisfaction and frustration, just like a waking generator. And I'm pretty sure he was a generator. We'll go to the chart where it shows both and we'll go into deeper charts. But you see, like, this is pretty deep and intense. Look, light field, Neptune, gate 62, line 1, love and secrets. Demon realm activations, Jupiter and gate 28, line 3, fear and turmoil, both in the design and in the personality. And then in the personality, Earth, the 38-1, aggression and secrets. Mars in the 42-2, dying and possession. It's dying because it's fear of dying. There's also a fear of dying with the 42, or there could be. 53, flight, vision. A lot of people with the 53 active in the dream um, realm can actually fly in their dreams. Like this gets so fascinating. And then we see Earth plane activations here. Mercury in gate 12, Pluto in gate 12, both design and personality, mutation, vision, obsession. Fourth line is obsession. The lines here are more powerful than the meaning of the gates. And that's going to be the second word here. So third line, turmoil, first line, secrets, second line, possession, sixth line, division, fourth line, obsession. There's no fifth lines here, and I'm not remembering that here. So that's what it is. And so when Sabato went to sleep, he might have not always slept very well. I mean, being a generator in your sleep, that's a lot of twisting and turning, probably getting kicked out of bed from your partner, too much movement, too active, in sleep. And that's what it is. The 28 is known as pretty aggressive, and the 38 also. And and the tunnel is a very violent novel. I mean, there's a murder in the novel, right? And so very interesting to see Sabato's Dream Rave. Let's see if I have another chart here. We'll go to his human design so you guys can get a peek at that. I have his human design mandala. And we can stop share and then share that one. Okay, here it is. So this one includes all his godheads, which I think is fun now. Look, he's got his North Node design as Janus. That's the North Node design of a human design, by the way. Find the fixed star that's closest to gate 24, line 3, and you'll find the star of where he comes from, the fixed star. That's one perspective. Ra had a little book on that, or someone else did a book on it. I think is that a Scorpio or Taurus? I can't even remember. Yeah, there it is. It's Aries. So it's a Janus. So it's the latter degrees of Aries. I don't remember the gates right now. No, is it? No, it's Taurus. It's Taurus. It's the beginning degrees of Taurus. It's just nice little digression. So in his waking, it's kind of small, but you could see that he is a generator. And you could see that he has activations. He has those same gates that he has in his dream realm. He has all of them, in his waking. If he has a gate that is not in his waking, but is in his sleeping, we call that an Achilles heel. In this case, he has everything. He has the 4253, he's got the 2838, he's got the 12, and then he's got the 62. So in this case, Sabato doesn't have any areas that in his dream wave that he doesn't have in his waking. But I wanted to go back to that. There's something I forgot to add. I don't know why I can't just share an addition. Okay, so going back to this page here, you guys can see that, as I was saying, there's all these extra gates here. And so some of these gates are stop codons, some are start codons. And via these gates, these energies of the dream rave gates actually get into the waking chart. And I'll go deeper into that another time, but it's just fascinating. And so the importance of the dream rave cannot be underestimated. And only now many of us are really coming to even have heard of it. And let's see, I'm going to put up the composite because that's the one I should have put up so that we could actually see that evidence that Sabato has none of the. Here we go. Okay, so you could see here the comparison now. You could see how he has the 3828. Bam, there it is. He's got the 5342. Bam, right there. He's got the 62. It's right there. And he's got the 12 over here on both sides. So This is an example chart of a generator awake and a generator asleep, and a splenic generator with sacral authority. And this is what it is. This is the Dream Rave that came out, I don't remember what year, maybe in the mid 2000s somewhere. And Raw did a couple books on this. Um, and it's really fascinating. It's just kind of really being shared in multiple layers now by other teachers. And I studied with a teacher earlier this year to get what is it called? To get my credentials in doing Dream Rave for others. And as soon as I finish that, I will let everybody know and put it on my website and do more videos on it. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed, especially those of you who never have heard about the Dream Rave. And so there you go. Feel free to ask additional questions in the comments below and subscribe if you'd like. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching.